You can definitely stay here with us forever because we'll give you everything that you need. You tune into Breakfast in Bed here on Smooth 98.1. I love music, love life. My name is Oluwaseun, and we are now in the Soul Food segment where we're talking about your health and wellness. Today we're talking about how to prevent blindness because World Sight Day is 14th of October 2021, and it's basically just to draw attention to blindness and vision impairment. I do have a very special guest this morning. Her name is Dr. Modupe Olorunnimbe. She's a fellow of the West African College of Surgeons. She's an ophthalmologist with 27 years experience and counting. She also holds a master's degree in human resources and management and development from the University of Salford. Currently, she works at General Hospital Isolo and she's held various offices. And today she is here representing the Lagos State branch of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. She's actually the current chairperson. And also she's a trustee of Precious Sight Foundation. That is an NGO that is working for sight restoration in underserved communities. So, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, if you can, please put your hands together for my guest, Dr. Modupe Olorunnimbe. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Shem. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure. I mean, and then you waking up really early to come here on a Saturday when everybody should be resting and sleeping. I don't take that for granted. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this is a very important topic because according to a data I saw online, it is said that about a billion people globally are actually having vision impairment in one way or the other. In fact, some of that number have not even been addressed yet. And it is something very, very worrying because, I mean, we're talking about sight.
Yeah,
If
that's it.
there is no sight, it makes it more difficult. Now, the theme of the World Sight Year this year is Love Your Eyes. I think it's very interesting
It is.
because for you to say love your eyes, you're either telling me you have not been loving your eyes
True.
or you have not been loving your eyes the right way.
That's the interpretation. You got it.
All right, so please break it down to somebody out there.
Okay. Actually, globally, the number of people with visual impairment for both distance and near vision is
Mhm.
about 2.2 billion,
Not even 1 billion.
according to WHO.
Wow.
2.2 billion. And at least half of that, the 1 billion, have conditions that could have been prevented
Mhm.
or are yet to be addressed.
Wow.
So a lot of us are just going about needlessly blind. And the leading cause for visual impairments and blindness is what we call uncorrected refractive errors,
Mm.
meaning you just need to wear glasses to see better. But there are a lot of myths surrounding glasses, or some people just don't have it.
Mm.
They can't afford it. And cataracts of different types. Those are the leading cause. Of all of this, about 50, for people 50 years and above,
Mm.
they are more affected. But vision loss can affect people of all ages, from infancy right to the elderly. And it's, for us, everybody knows, close your eyes for 1 minute and be and experience darkness
Mm.
for 1 minute. The eyes are precious. And the thing about it is, many of us may take care of other parts of our bodies, but we
The
actually
eyes.
forget that little organ. And that's why we're saying, love your eyes. Remember to love your eyes. Whatever you've been doing in the past, love your body, go for your annual checks. Remember, your eye is part of your body, so check your eyes as well.
Hmm. Now, I do like numbers because it just gives me an idea of what we're dealing with. In Nigeria, according to another study that I saw, let me reference it properly and then we'll take your comment on it. So there was a journal titled Vision, Health Disparities in Blindness, or rather a journal of African Vision and Eye Health.
Okay.
And then the topic of this paper that was submitted to them was vision health disparities in blindness and also visual impairment in Nigeria. And the person who submitted this article was Obina F. Akonwo. Now, he said the male dominance culture and lower literacy levels among women in Nigeria have led to a higher prevalence of blindness and visual impairment among women compared to men. Do you think that's true?
In a sense, it is.
Okay.
Okay, women, assuming any program comes to, say, a village, we want to do eyes, it's the men that go first. It's a cultural thing. The men go before they now come back and give permission to their wives to go. Never mind that the wives also contribute substantially to the family economy. But in some societies, that is it. The women are relegated, just like the girl child is relegated in education. So it happens. It can happen. In more cosmopolitan areas in Nigeria, it's not like that. But in the underserved areas where culture is deep, that's what happens.
All right, then let's take a quick and when we come back, we'll be talking about more reasons why you need to love your eyes. I think we already have enough reasons why you need to love your eyes, but specifically, we will be getting into ways that you can love your eyes better. You're tuning into Soul Food segment here on Breakfast in Bed on Smooth 98.1. My name is Oluwaseun, and my guest is Dr. Modupe Olorunnimbe. She's the chairperson of the Ophthalmology Society of Nigeria Lagos chapter. Please stay with us. Or keep it tuned right here on Smooth
What
98.1.
would you like me to address to?
Yeah.
Because I have my own. No, not.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
same. We're going along the same lines.
Okay.
But is there anything specific that you also want me to talk about
Just
from your research?
tips.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So actually, I'll be asking you that. For instance, we have the geopolitical zone. It seems that we have people who are more blind in northwestern part of Nigeria.
Is that politically correct to be saying on this?
No, I'm going
Yeah.
to put it in a better. Just
I'm, a, I'm supposed to
all right.
explain
We're
now.
coming in soon.
Okay.
Yes, that's who we are. Smooth 98.1. I love music, love life. In case you're joining us, well, you're very welcome. We're having a very important conversation. It's about your sight and why you need to love your eyes. That's the theme of the World Sight Day this year, happening on on 14th of October 2021. But we're already having an early conversation because we can never overflog this issue. And my guest right now is the chairperson of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria Lagos chapter, Dr. Modupe Olorunnimbe. We're streaming live on YouTube actually. You can join us. Just search on YouTube at Smooth 91 FM Lagos. That's the address for you to search, or rather the channel. And first, click on the subscribe button. Subscribe because we want you to get more of the content we're giving you. And also, if you have any question or any comment, you can drop it in the chat box option. You can also share this link with somebody who needs to have it. And then when we're done with this streaming, I'll save it up for you so that you can go back to it. Now, in the course of this conversation, we are on WhatsApp and you can send in your messages or your questions, whatever it is. You can also call in. The number for you to dial is 01-448-9981. Again, 01-448-9981. That's the number for you to dial if you want to call in to say anything or you want to ask a question. My guest is very much able to take your questions. Now, before going on that break, I was reading out some of the facts and some of the data that I got from a study titled Vision Health Disparities in Blindness, as submitted by Obina F. Akanho. It was actually published in March 2017. Now, according to this study again, still talking about it, it says that in Nigeria, eye disease tend to link to blindness and visual impairment. So first, I actually want to get a difference between blindness and visual impairment for the sake of somebody who has no idea.
Okay. Visual impairment is kind of self-explanatory, but it's classified into mild, moderate, and severe before you get blindness. So it's a spectrum. And if you're set to have mild visual impairment, I don't know how many of us have loved our eyes enough to go for eye checks. So the chart I'm talking about is the alphabet chart that has a big letter and comes in lines. So for those with mild visual impairment, they can see up to the fourth line. No, they can see up to they can see up to the sixth line, 618. What the nomenclature, I don't want to confuse the
Okay.
audience, but imagine that you are reading that chart.
Yeah.
If you have a mild visual impairment, you can read up to like the sixth line. If you have a moderate visual impairment, you can go beyond like the fourth line. If you have severe visual impairment, you can probably read only the top letter, the big one. And then maybe if somebody waves a finger, counts finger in front of you, that is severe visual impairment. But blindness is a visual acuity that is worse than that. You can't even see the top letter, which is big. So you're considered even legally blind as well. Blindness also has to do with the field of vision that you can see. If all you can see is a tunnel vision of like 10 degrees, not more than that, then you're legally blind.
Okay. So again, for the sake of somebody who has no idea, please clarify between legal blindness and blindness.
Legal blindness would be important for things like driving. Are you able to drive? So some people can see maybe fingers, but you know, on our roads we have people like that. They're still driving, maybe in one eye or even in both eyes, but they're still driving because they cannot see from the side more than a tunnel vision. No matter how well they can see looking straight ahead, they're legally blind. They're not fit for driving. Then some can't even see, they just see shadows, but they try to make out that they can see, and they can't, they're legally blind. You're a danger to the road. And because many eye conditions are painless, people may actually go blind in one eye, and because they're seeing relatively clearly in the other eye, they don't realize that they've lost vision. And that's why an annual check, at least once a year, take your birth month and go for an eye check, whether you have a complaint or not. Also, this love your eye, everyone counts, from the young to the elderly. Everyone counts and everyone should have an eye check. The whole idea is for 1 million people across the world to have an eye, to pledge to have an eye check. And I'm asking my audience today, raise your hand in a pledge and tell yourself, I pledge to love my eyes more and I'm going for my eye check. And then do it every year or as the doctor suggests.
Okay, that's very interesting. While you were explaining, somebody called, so please call back if you can. 014489981. Again, 014489981. Now let's talk about some of the symptoms that a regular person needs to be aware of. Somebody who has no medical knowledge whatsoever. What are those things that when they begin to see it, they need to be careful? Because you already mentioned that there are some that present no symptoms at all.
Yeah.
But what are those ones that if they see it, they should quickly run to the doctor?
Well, first let me
Okay,
tell
sorry,
you.
let me interrupt and take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning, what's your name and where are you calling from? O- okay, Ifeanyi. Yeah, good morning. Do you have a question? Okay, please go ahead. Okay,
Okay,
thank you very much for calling. Just stay tuned.
I'll quickly answer that because I was going to say that the most common causes of blindness and usually painless, not that they don't have symptoms, but painless. And you know, for us, if you don't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if people don't have pain, they're just coasting along. Uncorrected refractive errors, like you should wear glasses and you're not wearing. Some people have pretty bad eyesight. But in the elderly, and what Papa probably has is cataract. Cataracts are age-related changes in the eye. If we all grow old enough, we may just all have cataracts. And the cure for cataract is surgery. So, my dear Ifeanyi, the people that we do surgery on for cataracts are the elderly people. They go in and come out and they can see within a week the difference is clear. You get a man that is dressing neater, smiling more, because you've taken him out of a dark world where he wasn't sure of what was going on around him. bear in mind that at that age group, if they plunge into darkness, they're depressed, they are scared, they are anxious, they are liable to fall and fracture and hurt one another and themselves. So why would I subject my father to that? And cataract surgery is like a 15 minutes operation, my dear. It's not going to be
Nothing to be
put
worried
under,
about.
yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Please let him go for the surgery. It's when you get there, you'll see that every other person there is an elderly person too. They come in and they go out and they're fine.
All right. I hope you got that. I have a message on WhatsApp from Kewe saying, "Good morning. I'm Kewe. Please, my question is: do phone brightness affect eyes? For me, I always reduce the brightness on my phone. Is it healthy or unhealthy to the eyes?"
Yeah, the light from the eye and from the phone is different spectrum on the lights, and they emit all sorts of also waves that we cannot see, and some of these waves kind of reduce and affect the macula that's at the back of the eye. So it is suggested that you actually tone down the brightness, number one. Number two, there's the new lenses that are coming out now, that
The blue ones?
the blue cut ones, yeah.
Okay.
And they actually shield your eye from some of the rays from the phone that may damage your eyes.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your name? Adeni, where are you calling from, please? Okay, what's your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sir. There's no lockdown now, sir. And I'm sure that the hospital is mopping up their waiting list. I know that they're doing more than they were doing before just to catch up with the list. Please, sir, I think you should go back to the hospital. They'll be really happy to sort it out because they've only treated you halfway. Joy of a doctor is to complete treatment with a positive outcome. So I think that you should still wait at home. Please go back and they'll sort you out, sir. I believe that. Yes, sir. I would suggest that, sir, so that at least they'll be able to retrieve your records and then they'll put you in line again.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. Have a good one. Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. Hello. Good morning. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. I can still hear the echo. Or okay, what's your name? Where are you calling from? All right. What's your question? All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for calling.
Thank you for thank you for that question. Um, one of the reasons why we have this awareness is actually to educate people. I know for a fact that there's an eye clinic in the Badagry General Hospital, but then he's also asking about maybe the private sector. There are a lot of charlatans in the eye care. I mean, you walk along the streets, some high streets in Lagos, you know what I'm talking about. They're
Mm.
there. Come in and fix your glasses. I don't know if you love your eyes, then you actually go to an accredited place. And
How do you
thankfully,
know the accredited
yeah,
places?
in Lagos State, we call the HEFAMA, the monitoring body for private and public
Mm.
hospitals. If they tell me that the nearest accredited eye clinic to me is 10 kilometers away, I would rather go there than go to any shop or chemist, whatever they call them, all over the place.
Can we go online to search for this FMR accredited places?
I'm sure, yeah. A
Okay.
lot of, if even if you Google hospitals, eye hospitals in Lagos, it is we should do due diligence. Even when you pick one, get there and see everybody has a logo
Yeah.
if they are accredited.
Okay.
But all of us, we like to say the doctor should come and meet us in our offices or in our houses, or and anybody who calls themselves an eye person, even in the chemist, can I quickly say that red eyes, they need different treatment because they're different causes.
Mm.
So there's a red eye condition that if you use steroids, it gets worse.
Mm.
If you use steroids, it gets better. But if you go and okay, use this one too is good. It's red eye, is Apollo, take. And then we're just making our eyes blind. So love our eyes, go to the accredited places.
Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume of your radio set. What's your name, please? Samuel, where are you calling from? All right, what's your question? A retina what? Okay. All right, thank you very much.
Can I say that there's some eye conditions that we can't really bring the vision back to how it was before?
Mm.
Retinal detachment is one of them. Added to which there are some eye conditions that are actually qualify as emergencies. So he might, when you have a retinal detachment surgery, it's something that should be addressed within a few days or a few weeks for you to even have some modicum of restoration.
Mm.
But if that didn't happen and they reattach the retina, it may lead to a condition like this, but it would never have been top form.
All right, quickly, because we're actually out of time, I'll take this message on WhatsApp. Antitoke says, what's the serious advice about using a mobile phone in a dark room first? And what's the maximum time to spend on the phone in 24 hours?
I may not have the actual figure for the maximum hours. I've already answered the first part of the
Mm-hmm.
question. But all I know is that screen time should be reduced. But all of us, we do screen time at work. We get home, we do screen time. We wake up in the middle of the night. Just don't put your phone near you. Just, or disconnect it. Put it off. Switch it to, I mean, let it not even blink a light, because it's that light that blinks through our sleep that even wakes us up. So we're compromising our sleep. So, I mean, I don't know. The screen time should not be more than, as far as I'm concerned, 8 hours a day. You can be doing other things. We really don't have to be on our phone for that long.
And since you mentioned that the 2020, looking away from your skin, rather screen for 20 seconds and 20 meters, please explain that to me. I've heard it from many ophthalmologists.
Well, what I would say, it's just not the phone. It's not only the phone. Many of
Okay.
us work with systems in our place of work.
Mm.
You must be able to blink
Okay.
at least, because when you blink, you rest the eye, you moisten the eye. When we're reading, we're staring. Blinking is a natural thing that God put there to refresh the eyes. We're not supplying it with tears enough. So you must make the think, blink, and then that'll be okay. Then get up and walk around a bit. And then if you have to walk every day on the system, after about 2 months, you should be able to be rotating and do other tasks so that you are, the screen time does not really affect your eye. It depends. It's hard to tell anybody to get up if somebody is working in the bank 20 minutes, and people will get angry because there will be no productivity. But there are other ways around it. You need to.
Okay, and I have the last one this morning. Ali from Apapa says, when I wake up in the morning, I put a finger across my eyeballs to remove that slimy particles that builds up when one has had a long sleep, for the lack of better way to describe it. But then I hear that removing that stuff is putting one's eyes health in jeopardy. But I feel uncomfortable with it. My eyes feel heavy with it. The sensation I get when I poke them out is soothing, and when they are out completely, my eyes feel lighter. Please educate me on this too, doctor.
That's the first time I'm hearing that clearing your eye of discharge in the morning. We have that discharge because probably during the night, the tears have different layers. It has a liquid layer. It has a layer that can solidify. So it's actually natural to bring it out because it's part of the eyes. I can imagine that it will make it feel heavy, but you clear it and then it makes you see better in the morning. It's a natural thing to do. Please, there's no danger in it unless it is an excessive discharge that goes on throughout the day and is sometimes associated with redness or pain. But that one in the morning that we all wash off and clear, it's natural.
All right, we're actually out of time. We were not even able to discuss some of the things that we wanted to, but it's
Same here
okay
too.
that we got questions and feedback from them because it's about listeners and
Yes.
it's about telling them to love their eyes.
Thank
But
you.
what other additional information would you want anybody listening to have?
Again, this program is meant for everyone listening and anyone in a position of policy making to also modify and change policies concerning eye health. The truth of the matter is there's a personal impact and an economic impact to this thing. And since we have said at the beginning that visual impairment knows no age, in a child, you are not allowing that child to hit his potential educationally. You are not allowing him to integrate socially and emotionally with society because he has this I can't see. In the elderly, you're putting the elderly person in a position of darkness, possibly. And most of these things happen, the eye changes happen as we get older. So we need policies that will make eye care available, accessible to people. We need human resources, optometrists, ophthalmologists, ophthalmic nurses, all, but there's a death of all of this. So I feel the pain of people, but the eye is precious. Love your eyes.
Thank you so, so much. I very much appreciate your presence this morning. It's a pleasure. And thank you for all that you've given to us and the charge and the encouragement. My guest is Dr. Modupe Olorunnimbe. She's the chairperson of Lagos Society, or rather the Lagos chapter of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. She's also at General Hospital Isolo, so definitely you can find her there. She's a consultant ophthalmologist, so you are in safe hands. Thank you, and thank you again. By the way, if you have missed out this conversation, you can go back to our YouTube channel to have a replay of it. We'll save the video for you. Just look for Soulfood 92 on how to prevent blindness and share it with somebody. Also, we'll put it on our WhatsApp status when you are done. But no, we are not done with breakfast in bed for today. Later on, about 6 minutes time, I'll be having the kids join me on the Curious Minds show. It will be fun, and tell your kids, your nibblings, your nephews and your nieces to come around because it will be absolutely fun. This is Smooth 98.1. Yes, ma'am.